what's going on with the vitamin D?
When it comes to vitamin D, it's common knowledge that because of our altitude and the angle of the sunlight in Norway, we get very little vitamin D. The window in the summer where we can induce the vitamin D production by being in the sun is actually only about 2 months. Which is a very short period. So in the Norwegian climate, or if you live in these altitudes, it's important to have some kind of supplementation for vitamin D. Traditionally, Norwegians have been using cod liver oil, which unfortunately I don't think is a good source anymore because of all the pollution of the oceans and the concentration of all these heavy metals and toxins when you go up in the when you go upwards in the biological marine system. And the cod is actually quite high up in the hierarchy, so the toxins concentrate even more. And the organ that's actually dealing with all these pollutants, the toxins and heavy metals, is the liver. And when we then use the cod liver to create a supplement, I really don't think that's a good solution. And most people that have been producing the cod liver oil know this too. So it's not uncommon that the cod liver oil, before it's put out on the market, has to go through 10 or 20 or even 30 chemical cleansing processes to get rid of all the toxins. So I do not recommend cod liver oil at all. If you look at the supplement market, most producers are turning away from cod liver oil and moving down to krill oil, which is a step in the right direction. I think it would be better to go all the way down to algae like chlorella and spirulina, but even that is not a good enough source for vitamin D. And since the sun, the sunlight period to get vitamin D in Norway is only about 2 months, we need to get some form of supplementation. It's possible to collect some mushrooms in the forest or mountains. That will be a good vitamin source. But then you need to know what you're looking for and how to prepare them so they actually are a good source throughout the winter. For example. But I think probably the best way. I mean, there's loads of different vitamin D supplementation on the market. I'm very skeptical to using these supplements because most of them are pharmaceutically or chemically produced in a lab, and if you need to, or if you want to metabolize this, it's actually essential to get high doses of vitamin K as well, which is only found predominantly in green leaves and green vegetables. So unless you are on a raw and green diet, it's hard to metabolize the vitamin D that you get in many supplement forms. So in order to maintain optimal levels of vitamin D, I actually recommend patients to use a solarium, but never to use it for long. And you need to get a good quality one. But I think it's a better way to take 5 or 10 minutes of solarium once or twice a month throughout the winter months to maintain the body's own production. Because when sunlight hits our skin, we start producing vitamin D, and when we have enough vitamin D, the factory is shut down. If you supplement with vitamin D, you never know what doses is the optimal. And I'm very against a hands-on approach. I always think it's better to, as a therapist, to keep your hands off the patient and assist in maintaining and sustaining the patient's own ability to heal itself. Because our system has its own intelligence. We always know what is best and how to cleanse and how to detox and how to heal ourselves. We are also filled with heavy metals and toxins and poisons that if we started cleansing and our body decided to release all the toxins at the same time, most of us would actually die within a few hours. So our body knows how to heal itself. We have a intelligence within us, and I think it's very important to support this system in a natural way. And then later on, if it's necessary, sometimes it's necessary to have a hands-on approach as well. But I always think that should be the last solution. We always have to start with the fundamentals, because I don't want to start pushing buttons on a patient if the patient is still eating gluten every day, drinking cow milk every day, and feeding its cells with sugar and acid forming food all the time. Then I rather say, you know what, don't waste my time, find another doctor. Much better for everybody.
And what about the people when they ask the common question as like, where can I get protein?
I always laugh. It's my favorite question. Every time people ask me, where do I get my protein? It's like, well, where does the elephant get its protein? Where does the hippopotamus get its protein? Where does the gorilla get its protein? All the biggest and all the strongest animals on this planet, they all get their protein from the same source. Green plants. There's plenty of protein in it. You will get more protein from 100 grams of broccoli than you will from 100 grams of steak or meat. And I think it's very over exaggerated, the importance of enough protein. We are the only animal on this planet worrying about getting enough protein. A good example will be a newborn infant. A normal newborn infant will be around 3 or 3.5 kilograms. And if this baby is breastfed for about a year, the baby will be 10 kilos. So it's possible to triple the weight just by drinking mother's milk. And mother's milk has a protein content of around 3 to 5%. So in a 3 to 5% protein diet, it's actually possible to triple an infant's weight, which shows more than clearly that it's protein in abundance. And I think also very interesting, speaking of the amount of protein, I think one of the preliminary studies for the China study by Colin Campbell at Cornell University, which is often referred to in literature as the India study, where you have two groups of rats, and both groups are each day injected with aflatoxin, which is a fungus toxin often found in different kinds of foods in the supermarket. The one group of rats is fed a 5% protein diet. The other group of rats is fed a 20% protein diet. After 3 months, when they kill all the rats and dissect them and see what's going on in the liver, because aflatoxin has a well-known carcinogenic effect on liver. So it's actually inducing liver cancer. The scientists and the researchers doing this study was actually quite astonished, because when they look at the rats after 3 months, they see that of the rats being fed a 20% protein diet, 100% of the rats have started developing liver cancer. Of the rats being fed a 5% protein diet, remember that both groups are being injected every day with the same amount of liver cancer inducing toxins. And in the group that was fed a 5% protein diet, 0% of the rats had actually developed liver cancer.
That's pretty clear. It's
very clear. You can't ignore a study like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the medical profession and modern medicine has ignored it for more than 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
This study was done in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. And what about the people they want to feed their kids with milk, like cow milk and dairy?
It's crazy. It's completely crazy. I think when it comes to cow's milk, the Hindus are probably right. The cow should be holy. Leave the cow alone. We shouldn't mess with it. One of the most interesting statistical analysis actually in the China study, the way I see it, is actually the fact that the the people who were having a high intake of cow's milk or dairy products, they have a higher correlation with lung cancer than the people who were smoking cigarettes every day. So if you look at the statistics from the China study, it's actually indicating that it's worse to drink cow's milk than it is to smoke. And this is also nothing new. In the early 50s, a link between casein, which constitutes around 87% of the protein in cow's milk, was identified as one of the strongest accelerator of cancer, and this was published in American Cancer Research. So it's not something new. Mm-hmm. Scientists have known about this for more than 50 years, and it's about time the public is made aware of this.
And what about vaccination?
I think to be honest with you, I'm very skeptical to the vaccination protocols, and I think everybody who really goes into the literature and starts studying this will share my point of view. I don't think vaccination is the way to go. I think it's a big fraud. I think the only way to maintain health and to optimize our health is to actually restore and improve the function of the immune system, not by vaccination or pharmaceutical medicine.
Is there anything that you would like to tell us? Or I think, well, you said a lot, but maybe it's something that I didn't ask and you consider like important, very important.
Wake up and change your life, change the diet, start listening to the body, because most people today feel that something is wrong. They don't feel healthy, they don't feel vibrant. When we are kids, when we were born into this world, we remember when we were young, we like running around all day full of vitality, full of energy, being pure love and happiness. And at one point or the other we are so drugged down by gluten and cow's milk and chemicals and pesticides and herbicides and all this crap that fucks up our system completely. Wake up and smell the coffee, so to speak. Start cleansing, start detoxifying, start adding more life force and vitality into your diet, and take responsibility for your health. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, at least do it for your kids. We have a responsibility to change, I think, because today we know what's going on, and knowing and not doing is not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to act. We have to do something. And it's all up to us. We all have the power within to change our lives, to change our health, and ultimately change the world.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it.
I had a chance I met your son.
Yes.
He's 6 years old.
Yes. Actually, just turned 7 now.
7?
Yes.
And he's really on the...
He loves this kind of diet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's about, in order to make the children get into this, I don't think we need to be that strict. I think it's more about facilitating and making good options available. Because I always let him choose what kind of food he wants to eat. I try to facilitate that. For breakfast he has a green juice or maybe an avocado and some tomatoes. But if he wanted to have normal bread with a chocolate spread and cow's milk, I gave it to him, even though I knew it was wrong. I wanted him to experience himself what it felt like. And it didn't take long before he said, no, I don't want that. I'd rather have the avocado with a little tomato and some olive oil, a little salt and a cleft of garlic. So we don't have to be too strict about it. Once you start facilitating and making better options available, the kids today are much more intelligent than we are. They know what their body needs. They know how to stay healthy and vibrant. And they will make good choices if we as parents make that option available. And we have to focus on the children. They are the future. We have to. It's our responsibility. They are going to inherit this planet, and if you look at this planet the way things are now, it's in pretty, I would say it's in pretty poor shape. And we need to address these matters soon, because we have no time to lose.
It's now.
It's now. It's definitely now. This is the time for a change, and we can do it. We just have to change our thoughts, start cleansing your body, start detoxifying, and we will ultimately cleanse not only the physical body, but once we cleanse our head as well, we might be able to have better thoughts. And even Buddha said thousands of years ago, if we change our thoughts, we will change our patterns. And by changing our patterns, we can ultimately change our lives. And that will be a change of the whole world. It's that easy, but at the same time that difficult. So everything starts with the thought.
And how do you see the present here in Norway with the raw food?
I think it's. I think Norway is a very exciting place to be right now, actually, because like I said initially, it's a huge shift in consciousness going on, and Norway is one of the most. We're a small population. There's only 4 million people living here, and Norway is actually one of the highest educated countries in not only in Europe, within the whole world. Mm-hmm. People are very, very educated, and I think this whole concept of a raw diet and a raw food diet and bringing more life force and vitality into the diet. This is not alternative or complementary medicine. This is hardcore evidence-based medicine, the way I see it. There's plenty of studies, there's plenty of research, there's plenty of institutes throughout the planet that has been working with these principles for decades, and the results they are achieving is quite amazing, I think. So I think it's a shame that this knowledge is not yet implemented and taught in not only in the medical faculties but also in the training of nurses and therapists. I think this is an essential knowledge that needs to be made available for everybody, so that people can have a choice to choose whatever they want. Mm-hmm.
We're free.
We are free. We should be able to choose whatever we want. Like an American comedian was saying on, I heard the other day, it's like, well, are we really free? In America, you're free to choose between 2 different parties. You can choose Republicans or Democrats, but you can choose from 53 different gummy bears or jelly bears, which is hilarious. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think something good is going on here.
Yes, I think it's, like I said, a very exciting place to be, because Norwegians are waking up, and most Norwegians have always been a people interested in sports and outdoor activities. So it's a population that are gradually waking up and realizing that the traditional Norwegian diet might not be as healthy as we were brought up to think. So we're at a place where a lot of people are searching for different alternatives and trying this diet and another diet, and I'm not really promoting any specific diet. I think this is more like a lifestyle concept, which you need to try to embrace and implement as much as you can, and don't do it because I tell you to do it. Do it because you want to try it, and then listen to the response your body is giving you. If it feels completely wrong after 3 months, do something else. Maybe this is not for you, but be honest with the response your body is giving you when you eat this kind of food, or if you're having a burger. Have you seen my burger, by the way? This is a cheeseburger from McDonald's. It's now 4 years old, and it's still no mold, there's still no fungus, there's still not growing anything on it.
Can I try it?
If you want, sure.
4 years.
4 years.
That's it.
It says more than 1,000 words, I think.
It's enough.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Christian Darling, thank you for being here with us, Raw Academy. It's a pleasure, and
Thank you,
hopefully we're gonna have you soon coming to South America to share your
Thank you so much.
experience. And
I'm really looking forward to it.
okay,
It's been a pleasure having you here.
thank you very much.
Thank you.